Have you ever experienced that profound sense of inertia upon waking, a feeling as if your very legs have become anchors, weighed down by a persistent, gnawing stiffness that seems to have taken up permanent residence? This is a silent epidemic, a daily reality for countless individuals who have reached or surpassed the age of 60, a pervasive discomfort that many learn to accept as an inevitable consequence of aging. But what if you could reclaim that lost lightness, that fluid ease of movement that once defined your days, all within the span of a single week, and without resorting to any pharmaceuticals or even a consultation with a healthcare professional? Imagine a humble, often overlooked staple from your own kitchen, a remedy utilized for generations, holding the remarkable potential to transmute that familiar heaviness into a sensation of effortless vitality. This journey is not merely about mitigating discomfort, it is about rediscovering a profound sense of freedom, a reconnection with your own physical vessel that can feel so elusive as the years accumulate, if the relentless ache, the frustrating puffiness, and that unyielding sensation of being tethered to the ground have become your daily companions. Then this message is precisely for you. Because the solution, you see, is far more accessible and remarkably more natural than you might have ever conceived. Please stay with us, because by the conclusion of this discussion, you will possess a comprehensive understanding of precisely how to harness the power of this potent natural oil, what tangible results you can anticipate on a day-by-day basis, and you will even uncover potent synergistic combinations designed to amplify its beneficial effects even further. Before we embark on this enlightening exploration, we invite you to share your age and your geographical location in the comments section below. This information not only helps us understand our audience better, but also fosters a sense of community among those seeking natural paths to well-being. Furthermore, ensure you subscribe to Health 365 to guarantee you never miss out on practical, natural, and actionable tips that genuinely contribute to a profound improvement in how you feel, both physically and emotionally. Your journey to revitalized legs and a more vibrant life begins here, with a simple understanding of nature's enduring wisdom. Margaret's personal narrative concerning the affliction of heavy legs was not a sudden, catastrophic event, but rather a gradual, insidious encroachment of discomfort that, much like many others, she initially attributed to the inexorable march of time. It began subtly, a dull, persistent ache that would manifest behind her knees after even a short excursion to retrieve her mail, followed by a gentle yet undeniable puffiness in her ankles as the day progressed, even on days characterized by minimal physical exertion. Mundane tasks, such as the simple act of bending to nurture her beloved garden, became invariably accompanied by unwelcome and often sharp leg cramps, disrupting her moments of solace. By the time she entered her early 70s, the sheer effort required to extricate herself from the comforting embrace of her favorite armchair felt almost monumental, a stark and disheartening contrast to the effortless grace she had once so readily taken for granted. She had, in essence, resigned herself to the notion that this pervasive discomfort was simply the new paradigm of what getting older felt like. Yet, the underlying truth was considerably more intricate, involving a progressive yet significant deceleration in the efficiency of her body's intrinsic physiological processes. Her circulatory system, once a robust and highly efficient network, had begun to exhibit signs of hardening and narrowing, thereby impeding the smooth, unimpeded flow of blood both downwards towards her extremities and, critically, back upwards towards the vital sanctuary of her heart. This compromised circulation meant that her legs were no longer receiving the essential supply of vital oxygen and the myriad of nutrients necessary for optimal function, directly contributing to that ever-present sensation of profound fatigue and encroaching weakness. Compounding these circulatory challenges was the subtle yet pernicious accumulation of excess fluid within her lower legs. As her kidneys and her lymphatic system gradually became less adept at their crucial function of draining superfluous water from the body's tissues, the relentless force of gravity exerted its pull, causing this fluid to pool, most noticeably in her feet and ankles. This edema, or swelling, did not merely augment the existing discomfort. It transformed every single step into a deliberate, often painful, undertaking, adversely affecting her overall balance and rendering the prospect of restful, uninterrupted sleep a distant and unattainable memory. Furthermore, the natural physiological process of muscle atrophy, a phenomenon characterized by the diminishment of muscle mass in the absence of sufficient physical stimulation, was quietly but steadily at play. Her thigh and calf muscles, no longer subjected to consistent and active engagement, were gradually shrinking, consequently placing an increased and undue strain on her joints and significantly elevating her inherent risk of experiencing debilitating falls. While these physiological alterations might have appeared formidable and perhaps even insurmountable, Margaret ultimately discovered that her body was far from being beyond the reach of effective intervention. It simply required the appropriate kind of targeted support, a support that she serendipitously unearthed in the most unassuming and easily overlooked corner of her life. It was during a period of quiet, almost serendipitous reorganization of her kitchen spice cabinet, a task she had regrettably neglected for several years, that Margaret's hand brushed against a small, forgotten glass vial concealed behind a familiar array of dried herbs. As she retrieved it and her gaze fell upon the faded label, a wave of recollection, potent and unexpected, washed over her: rosemary oil. She dimly recalled purchasing it a considerable time ago, drawn by its widely publicized reputation for its ability to soothe sore and weary muscles, only to have it languish, a victim of life's incessant distractions and competing priorities. That particular evening, as the familiar, unwelcome ache began to permeate her legs, she consciously opted for an alternative to her usual reliance on a cumbersome heating pad. With a quiet sense of nascent curiosity, she carefully dispensed a few precious drops of the rosemary oil into the palm of her hand, gently rubbing her hands together to impart a subtle warmth before commencing the deliberate massage into her calves and thighs. The immediate effect transcended the purely physical. The pure, invigorating herbaceous scent enveloped the immediate vicinity, instilling an instant sensation of profound calm and tranquility. However, the true revelation, the moment of genuine understanding, arrived mere moments later. A soft, comforting warmth began to bloom beneath her skin, a sensation not of invasive heat, but rather of her very muscles gently awakening from a state of subdued dormancy. That night, for the first time in an extended period, her sleep remained blessedly uninterrupted by the familiar and disruptive nocturnal leg cramps that had become a recurring torment. Rosemary oil, so often relegated to the humble status of a mere culinary herb, possesses a rich and extensive history of therapeutic application owing to its potent and naturally occurring compounds, such as rosmarinic acid, and its significant concentration of powerful antioxidants. These intrinsic elements are well established for their remarkable ability to enhance blood flow, effectively reduce inflammation within bodily tissues, and expertly alleviate muscle tightness and associated discomfort. Indeed, ancient healers in the esteemed civilizations of Greece and Rome were acutely aware of its manifold benefits, frequently applying it topically to combat the debilitating fatigue experienced in the legs, the debilitating stiffness in the joints, and the pervasive aches in the feet that were often the unfortunate consequence of prolonged journeys. Its extraordinary efficacy is intrinsically linked to its capacity to stimulate peripheral circulation, thereby directing much-needed and vital blood flow back towards the extremities. Furthermore, its inherent anti-inflammatory properties actively engage in the process of diminishing the accumulation of fluid that can result from prolonged periods of standing or sedentary sitting. And perhaps of equal, if not greater importance, the profound sensory experience it offers, the inherently calming aroma coupled with the gentle, radiating warmth, contributes significantly to an overarching sense of profound well-being, effectively transforming a simple topical application into a cherished personal ritual of dedicated self-care and rejuvenation. For Margaret, this nascent practice evolved into a deeply cherished moment of self-connection, a conscious pause within her day, dedicated solely and unequivocally to her own personal comfort and the process of profound bodily rejuvenation. The profound transformation that Margaret personally experienced was not solely a consequence of the remarkable inherent properties of rosemary oil itself. Rather, it was intricately woven with the deliberate and profoundly mindful manner in which she chose to integrate this potent remedy into the very fabric of her daily regimen, consciously elevating a simple, accessible product into a powerful and deeply personal ritual of devoted self-care. She discovered that the unequivocally optimal time for its application was immediately following a warm, cleansing shower, a period when her skin was exceptionally clean. Her pores were naturally dilated and receptive, and her muscles were already in a state of enhanced relaxation. Nevertheless, even in the absence of a recent shower, she consistently ensured that her legs were thoroughly cleaned and meticulously dried, a foundational step she recognized as paramount for maximizing the oil's absorption. Her ritual commenced by holding the small glass bottle of rosemary oil between her cupped hands for a brief warming interval, allowing the oil to reach a comfortable temperature, or if the ambient temperature felt cool, she would briefly place it near a warm towel to achieve the same effect. Subsequently, she would dispense approximately 5 to 6 drops into the palm of her hand, meticulously rubbing her hands together to distribute the oil and then inhaling deeply, allowing the grounding, distinctly herbaceous scent to serve as a potent signal for a conscious shift in her focus, a designated time for her body to graciously receive profound care. Her massage technique commenced at the ankles, employing gentle, deliberate circular motions that steadily ascended upwards along the contours of her legs. She placed significant emphasis on maintaining a slow, unhurried, and thoroughly deliberate pace, applying firm yet inherently loving strokes along the length of her calves, extending to the sensitive area behind her knees, and then continuing down along her shins, before finally moving higher into the substantial muscles of her thighs, where she would linger for an extended period, her movements encompassing her legs in a gesture that was akin to a deeply comforting and reassuring embrace. This process was far more than a mere superficial massage. It was a conscious and intentional act of profound physical connection. Each leg received her undivided and devoted attention for approximately 5 to 7 minutes, her breathing meticulously synchronizing with her movements, an inhale drawn deeply through her nose, an exhale released slowly through her mouth, thereby transforming this simple act of self-care into a potent form of moving meditation, a precious pocket of peace and tranquility within an otherwise potentially demanding day. She empirically discovered that performing this cherished ritual twice daily yielded the most consistently beneficial results. Once in the tranquil morning hours to invigoratingly prepare and energize her legs for the day ahead, and again in the calming evening to effectively release the accumulated tension and pressure that had built up throughout her activities. The tangible and perceptible shift in the condition of her legs became undeniably evident within the remarkably short span of just 7 days. Following this initial introductory week, Margaret diligently continued her practice, subtly adjusting the frequency of application based on her body's individual needs and signals, sometimes resorting to once-daily application, and on other occasions, exclusively at night when she sensed a particular heaviness settling into her legs. The practice never felt like a burdensome chore, rather, it seamlessly integrated itself into the natural rhythm of her life, becoming as intuitive and essential as her morning ablutions. To further augment and amplify the inherent benefits of the oil, she incorporated simple yet remarkably effective complementary practices. Following her massage, she would frequently elevate her legs onto 2 supportive pillows for a duration of approximately 15 minutes, a simple yet profoundly effective maneuver that significantly aided the return flow of blood towards her heart. On days when she experienced particularly pronounced soreness, she would gently drape a warm, moist towel over her legs post-massage, allowing the enveloping moist heat to facilitate a deeper penetration of the oil into her skin and provide an additional layer of soothing comfort. However, the most critically important element, as she came to realize, was the profound quietude and stillness she consciously cultivated during this dedicated time. Freed entirely from the distractions of mobile phones, the allure of television, or any form of ambient background noise, it was a moment solely and exclusively for her, her hands, and her breath. This deliberate act of slowing down, of embracing stillness, she discovered, initiated a profound and far-reaching change not only in her physical state, but also in her overall subjective sense of well-being and inner peace. The most profoundly striking and noticeable aspect of Margaret's remarkable personal transformation was not merely the substantial physical relief she consistently experienced, but the astonishing speed and responsiveness with which her legs began to exhibit positive changes, a level of improvement she had not felt or witnessed in many years by the conclusion of that initial pivotal week. While it is universally acknowledged that individual bodies respond to therapeutic interventions with varying degrees of rapidity and intensity, a significant number of individuals who have adopted this natural approach report a remarkably similar progression of subtle yet undeniably significant physiological changes. The initial impact typically felt on the very first day of consistent application was not so much characterized by overt pain relief as it was by a palpable and renewed sense of bodily presence and awareness. The simple yet profound act of consciously dedicating time to gently massage her legs, to synchronize her breathing with deliberate focus, and to direct her attention inward, fostered an unexpected sense of emotional lightness, a potent and reassuring reminder that her body, and by extension her very self, still held immense and inherent importance. By the second day of consistent application, a discernible difference began to emerge. Her legs felt noticeably less stiff and resistant upon the simple act of standing, and the disruptive and deeply unsettling leg cramps that had persistently plagued her nighttime sleep began to markedly subside, paving the way for a qualitatively deeper and more peaceful, restorative sleep. Day 3 brought with it an unexpected and delightful revelation. As she moved about her home, navigating familiar spaces, she consciously realized that her gait had become demonstrably smoother, her feet no longer exhibiting that disheartening tendency to drag along the floor. While some residual soreness might have lingered, the pervasive and demoralizing sensation of heaviness had definitively begun to recede and lift. By day 4, her skin radiated a newfound and vibrant health, shedding the persistent dryness and unsightly flakiness that had regrettably become commonplace, revealing instead a soft, luminous, and undeniably vibrant glow, thereby making her legs, and by extension, her entire being, feel more alive and invigorated. The 5th and 6th days ushered in a profound sense of renewed confidence and self-assurance. She found herself walking with a noticeably straighter posture, no longer exhibiting hesitation when encountering curbs or slight inclines, and even ascending stairs without the usual and often relied upon support of the stair railing. And on the 7th day, a quiet moment of personal reflection, perhaps while gazing down at her legs during her evening ritual, led her to look upon them with a gentle, knowing smile. For the first time in a considerable and prolonged period, they no longer felt like an unwelcome burden or a source of limitation, but rather an integral, comfortable, and cherished part of her very existence. While these initial 7 days undeniably represent a significant and pivotal turning point in her journey towards restored leg health, it is important to note that some individuals discover even more profound and far-reaching benefits by thoughtfully exploring other complementary natural oils that may cater more precisely to their specific and individual physiological needs, and understanding the unique properties of these alternatives can be an incredibly valuable component of a holistic approach to well-being. While the remarkable efficacy of rosemary oil proved to be an exceptional and life-changing solution for Margaret, it is crucial to understand that it stands as merely one of many exceptional natural remedies readily available for addressing the multifaceted issue of leg discomfort. Depending on the particular nature of the challenges you are currently experiencing, be it the persistent and often uncomfortable swelling, the troublesome and disruptive nighttime cramps, or even the visible manifestation of superficial veins, it is entirely possible that another natural oil might offer an even greater degree of suitability and targeted benefit for your unique bodily constitution and specific needs. Consider, for instance, the potent capabilities of arnica oil, a natural and highly regarded option that an ever-increasing number of individuals over the age of 60 are rediscovering and embracing with enthusiasm. If your legs tend to develop bruises with relative ease, feel tender or sensitive to the lightest touch, or exhibit significant swelling after periods of walking or extended standing, then arnica oil could quite possibly be precisely the therapeutic intervention that your body has been subtly yet persistently signaling that it requires. Derived from the vibrant and aesthetically pleasing yellow flower of the arnica plant, this oil boasts a long and well-documented tradition of use in various European folk medicine practices, primarily owing to its well-recognized ability to effectively alleviate inflammation and expertly soothe overworked and fatigued muscle tissues. Margaret's close friend, Helen, a spirited and active 75-year-old who dedicates a significant portion of her days to managing her stall at the bustling local market, has recently become a fervent and vocal advocate for the therapeutic benefits of arnica oil. After consistently applying it for just a few days, she reported a complete and welcome vanishing of the nagging, persistent soreness that had taken up residence behind her knees. For those individuals who find themselves most profoundly struggling with sleep disturbances, particularly when leg discomfort acts as a significant disruptor of their much-needed rest, lavender oil emerges as an exceptionally excellent and highly recommended choice. Beyond its inherently calming and universally recognized aroma, which in itself can be profoundly effective in quieting a racing mind and promoting relaxation, the act of gently massaging lavender oil into the legs offers additional significant benefits. It effectively and gently relaxes tense muscles and soothes overactive nerve endings, thereby promoting not only direct leg comfort, but also an overall state of deep restfulness and tranquility. Many individuals find it immensely beneficial to keep a bottle of lavender oil conveniently placed by their bedside, ensuring it is readily accessible to assist their bodies in settling down for the night when they are experiencing reluctance or discomfort. Then there is the highly esteemed horse chestnut oil, a particularly effective and targeted option for individuals who are predominantly dealing with issues related to poor circulation or the visible and often concerning appearance of superficial veins. Widely utilized across Europe with a particularly strong tradition of use in Germany, this remarkable oil is well known for its inherent ability to strengthen the integrity and resilience of blood vessel walls and effectively reduce that characteristic heavy, fatigued sensation commonly experienced in the lower legs. If your ankles tend to swell noticeably by the end of each day, or if your legs consistently feel as though they are losing their strength and giving out, then horse chestnut oil might very well provide the specific and targeted support that your body is actively requiring. It is important to note that you do not need to commit to using just one type of oil exclusively. Many individuals discover significant success by thoughtfully blending a few drops of different beneficial oils with a suitable carrier oil, such as pure almond oil or high-quality olive oil, and then applying this personalized blend using the same gentle and effective massage technique. Others find it more beneficial to alternate between different oils based on the specific way their legs are feeling on any given day. The most crucial and overarching aspect of this process is to cultivate a practice of deeply listening to your body's subtle yet important cues. Your body is in a constant state of communication, and these natural oils serve as simple yet powerful means to effectively and lovingly respond to that vital communication. The truly remarkable and tangible results that Margaret was able to achieve were not solely or even primarily attributable to the intrinsic properties of the rosemary oil itself, but were in fact significantly amplified and enhanced by the simple yet absolutely crucial lifestyle habits and routines that she consciously integrated into her daily existence. She did not undertake a radical, overwhelming overhaul of her entire life, nor did she suddenly and dramatically embrace a rigorous and demanding gym regimen or commit to a complex and potentially overwhelming supplement plan. Instead, her approach was far more accessible, far more sustainable, and fundamentally rooted in a conscious shift towards moving with genuine intention and mindful awareness. Each morning, before she even sat down for her breakfast, she would embark on a gentle, unhurried 10-minute walk around her immediate neighborhood. This practice was characterized by an absence of pressure or performance anxiety, focusing instead on the invigorating benefits of fresh air, the steady rhythm of her steps, and a natural, unforced cadence. This gentle, consistent movement acted as a vital internal pump, effectively promoting circulation throughout her legs and allowing the topically applied oil to penetrate more deeply into the tissues and remain effective for a significantly longer duration. In addition to her morning walks, she diligently incorporated 3 straightforward and easily achievable exercises that virtually anyone can perform in the comfort of their own home. She would rise onto the balls of her feet, holding her balance for a moment before slowly and controlledly lowering herself back down, all while standing by her kitchen counter, a practice designed to strengthen her calf muscles. She would extend one leg out in front of her while comfortably seated in her armchair, gently engaging her thigh muscles through a controlled stretch, and she consciously made soft circular movements with her ankles whenever the opportunity presented itself throughout the day, a simple yet effective method for maintaining crucial flexibility. These brief, consistently performed 5-minute sessions yielded demonstrably significant improvements in her leg strength and mobility. Her dietary habits remained largely unchanged, reflecting her preference for consistency. However, she consciously and deliberately increased her intake of foods that are well known for their beneficial effects on supporting healthy blood flow, such as garlic, turmeric, and a variety of antioxidant-rich berries. She also made a small but remarkably impactful reduction in her overall salt consumption, particularly in the evening meals, a dietary adjustment that contributed noticeably to a significant decrease in the bothersome ankle swelling she had previously experienced. Crucially, and perhaps most importantly, she prioritized and actively cultivated rest. Every afternoon, she dedicated a specific 15-minute period to elevating her legs, resting them comfortably on 2 supportive pillows while lying down and focusing on her breath, allowing her mind and body to enter a state of relaxed calm. This brief restorative respite provided a vital opportunity for her veins to recover their normal function and helped the accumulated swelling to gradually dissipate. At night, she found profound comfort in placing a soft, supportive pillow beneath her ankles while sleeping, a simple positional change that further aided circulation and reduced nocturnal discomfort. These seemingly minor adjustments, when considered collectively and implemented consistently, created a powerful and synergistic cumulative effect, leading to a profound and undeniable improvement in how her legs felt, functioned, and contributed to her overall quality of life. As an increasing number of individuals embark on this natural, holistic approach to enhancing their leg health, a recurring set of insightful and pertinent questions naturally arises, and it is essential to address them honestly and with absolute clarity to ensure that the maximum potential benefits of this practice can be fully realized. Many individuals inquire whether the therapeutic application of the oil can still be used effectively if they are dealing with the presence of varicose veins. The answer to this question is an emphatic and reassuring yes, with a gentle and mindful approach being the absolute key to success. If your veins are visibly prominent or feel particularly sensitive to touch, it is highly advisable to exercise caution and avoid applying firm or deep pressure during the massage process. Instead, it is recommended to focus on employing soft, upward stroking movements, consciously steering clear of direct pressure on the veins themselves, and to consistently follow up the massage with the practice of leg elevation. This simple yet crucial adjustment can in fact make a significant and positive difference in both comfort and efficacy. Another frequently posed question pertains to whether this natural method still holds true and yields beneficial results for individuals who are over the age of 80. The answer is an unequivocal absolutely. Age, in and of itself, does not negate or diminish the body's innate and remarkable capacity to respond positively to gentle, natural stimuli. While it is entirely possible that it might require a slightly longer period for noticeable changes to manifest, your skin, your muscles, and your circulatory system remain inherently receptive to beneficial interventions. We have received numerous heartfelt testimonials from individuals in their late 80s and even early 90s who reported feeling demonstrably stronger, more stable on their feet, and more intimately connected to their own bodies after consistently applying these simple yet effective techniques. Furthermore, the profound benefits derived from this practice are by no means exclusive to any particular gender. Men can and do benefit equally from this approach. Issues such as poor circulation, debilitating leg cramps, and age-related muscle loss are not selective in their manifestation. In fact, a considerable number of men who were initially hesitant or perhaps even skeptical about trying massage techniques reported being pleasantly and profoundly surprised by the depth of relief they experienced, both in terms of physical comfort and the accompanying emotional well-being. Regarding the optimal duration of use, there isn't a strict, rigid rule that applies universally. However, utilizing a 7-day period as an initial benchmark or starting point serves as an excellent guide. Following that initial introductory period, you can seamlessly transition to continuing the use of the oil once daily or perhaps a few times per week, depending entirely on how your legs are feeling and responding on any given day. For a great many individuals, this practice organically evolves into a comforting and deeply anticipated nightly ritual, something they genuinely look forward to. The most important and overarching guidance we can offer is to remain consistently attuned to your body's subtle yet important signals and cues. Finally, if you find that you are not experiencing immediate or dramatic results, please recognize that this is perfectly normal and quite common. Every single body responds to therapeutic interventions at its own unique pace and timeline. If your legs have been grappling with discomfort and stiffness for many years, it is entirely plausible that it may require more than just a few days to effectively release the accumulated tension and address the underlying imbalances. Consistency, therefore, is paramount. Pairing the topical application of the oil with gentle, purposeful movement, ensuring adequate hydration throughout the day, and prioritizing sufficient and restorative rest are all crucial components of this holistic approach. Therefore, we implore you to be patient with yourself and with the process. Even subtle improvements, such as a noticeable reduction in swelling, a qualitative improvement in sleep quality, or a discernible ease in everyday movement, are clear indicators that the process is indeed working and yielding positive results. Before we bring this enriching discussion to a close, there exists one vital message, a sentiment that, regrettably, often goes unheard amidst the clamor of daily life, yet holds immense and profound significance in how we choose to approach and nurture our overall well-being. Your legs, these incredible and often taken for granted limbs, have served as your steadfast and unwavering companions throughout the entirety of your life's journey, diligently carrying you through moments of unbridled joy, through periods of profound sorrow and challenge, and through every single step, no matter how small or how momentous, that has ultimately brought you to this very present moment. They have provided you with unwavering support, often when perhaps no one else in your life could offer the same. It is entirely possible, even probable, that over the passage of time you may have inadvertently stopped truly noticing them, or worse, have perhaps begun to harbor feelings of resentment towards them for the aches they endure, for the perceived slowing of your pace, or for the inevitable changes in their appearance. But here lies the undeniable, incontrovertible truth. They continue to deserve your utmost care, your gentle attention, and more importantly, you yourself undoubtedly deserve care. This entire endeavor is not about desperately chasing an elusive notion of youthfulness or about needing to prove anything to anyone else. Rather, it is fundamentally about recognizing that the simple acts of attention and care directed towards oneself are among the most profound and powerful expressions of love that we can offer. And your body, at every single stage of life, regardless of age or condition, is undeniably, unequivocally worthy of that profound and unconditional love. Therefore, tonight, as you prepare to rest, take just 5 short minutes for yourself. Sit down comfortably. Gently warm a small amount of your chosen oil in your hands. Take slow, deliberate, and calming breaths, and simply listen to your body, to the rhythm of your breath, and to that quiet, subtle, inner feeling of coming home to yourself. If this message has resonated deeply with you, if it has sparked a sense of connection or understanding, please do share your valuable thoughts and experiences in the comment section below. And always remember to subscribe to Health 365 for a consistent stream of practical, natural strategies and actionable insights designed to help you feel strong, fully supported, and vibrantly alive in your own skin. Until our next insightful conversation, may you walk with gentleness and may you always walk with love.